Man, so I don't know how I feel about this. Before I get into it, I'll just say a couple things. So this, like a lot of people harp on the Miles Spider-Man, but I don't mind him. I actually think he's an okay character. He started in Ultimate Spider-Man, and you could say what you want, like Ultimate Spider-Man, like the death of Peter Parker over there, and they did eventually bring him back, but they wiped all of that out. The way they transitioned the character, right, was like tastefully done. They did a good job, like transitioning to the from the legacy character, which they did not do with their big purge that they did recently. The way they killed him and then made this character Spider-Man was well done, and I think that is a big difference in how you change a character over. Like the main character went on a hero. This character, like essentially the way I like to explain it to people is Peter Parker essentially became Miles Morales' Uncle Ben, right? Because he didn't know about great responsibility, great power, great responsibility, and he ended up, going to Peter Parker's funeral, and he learned about it then, and then he learned because he had the powers of the Spider before Peter died, and he didn't do anything, and then he learned about great power, great responsibility, and what Peter did, and how he just wanted to make up for Uncle Ben's death. And he realized, Peter Parker would be alive if I had went and done something about it, because Peter Parker died fighting the Sinister Six, if I remember. He fought Green Goblin. They died fighting each other. But the moral of the story there basically is he could have saved Peter Parker maybe if he had went and helped, and he didn't. And that's how he took up the mantle of Spider-Man, which I liked. I thought that was a good way to go about it. That's a well-done origin. You tie the legacy into the new character, and that's one of the reasons that the character has had staying power and been around. Because generally he was introduced well, and he had a good run. So I like this book. I actually have quite a bit of this run. Even the Ultimate run, I have most of all of it, actually. I liked the Ultimate Spider-Man run. I know Zach doesn't, and that's fine. But I did like Ultimate Spider-Man. Oh, look at that. Fucking thumbprint, man. Can you guys up your ink? DC charges the same price for books, and they give you a nice cardboard cover and matte paper. You guys are charging $4 for ink that comes off on the cover. God. Anyway. Brian Michael Bendis wrote it for a long time, then they moved him over to the 616, and it's been a little weird with him being in the 616. I feel like the character loses a little bit of his origin that way, but it's fine. I don't mind Miles. I actually liked most of his run. So they rebooted it. Brian Michael Bendis is gone, and they gave it to Saladin Ahmed, who is a jerk. I don't like the guy. He's a prick. For real, he's a prick. But, some of his stuff, particularly the Amazing Spider-Man annual he did was really good. And when someone does a good book, I'll give them props and I'll enjoy the work and try to separate the creator the best I can, And Exiles was crap. I didn't like Exiles, but it's all right, well, check this out. So I feel like this is almost half a good book, right? He spends the first half of the book introducing, half of the book is almost introducing you to the history of the character, who he is, and, what he's all about, which I think is good. You learn about who he is, and then we go in to what the book is really about. And of course, Ahmed gets political. More immigrant children detained. Here we go. So I don't get it, man. I think, what is it? Nick Lowe is the editor for all of these books. Let me check. Yep, Nick Lowe is the editor for all of the Spider-Man books. Venom is included on all that stuff in there. So, by the way, the art in this book is really good. I like the art in this book quite a bit. I think it's really cool. But here we go. Now, this is where I'm not going to hit the book too hard yet because I want to see where they're going to go. I will give a pat. So if a story does have social commentary and political stuff in it, if it's good and well done, I can somewhat give it a pass and be like, that's fine, whatever. So I'll get to the point. So if you want a review number score before we continue going into the plot, I'll say it's a 3. I'll give it a decent review, 3 out of 5. But that could change real fast. We're going to see where they go because I know old Saladin, man, and I know how he likes to write. We literally had an Exiles comic where the Marvel superheroes went back in time to fight slavery. So we'll see. We'll see. Take note of these little characters here, these little dudes that are robbing this store. Rhino shows up, which I generally liked. This is really cool, man. The artist on this book. Who is this artist? Let me check again. Javier Garon. He did a good job, man. This is some sick art. This is really good. Really good art. Every book should be this good, to be honest. Rhino shows up, and you get a really cool fight between him and the Rhino, who's there trying to look for his niece who went missing. And they have a little misunderstanding because, Rhino's a bad dude, and Rhino's like, look, man, just leave me alone. I'm trying to do something. And they come to an understanding and stop, and they go after this little cargo thing that's got these children on it. And what happens? Well, it turns out that this little kid that was in the park that Miles met earlier in the book, who's an illegal immigrant, is in the suit. Oh, so guess what the plot of this book is? Illegal immigrant kids have been kidnapped, and they're putting them in these little suits and taking them. So, we'll see where they're going to go with that. I don't have high hopes at all, believe me, because I know this writer, Doug Ernst, has done like 2 videos on him that are pretty spot on. And, we'll see. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt because Nick Lowe is a good editor so far. He's been doing a great job with the Spider-Man stuff. So we'll see. That's all I'm going to say. If he can do it good, we'll see. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, and it's not, going to be some illegal immigrant roundup, and it's going to be a decent story, and that's just one of the kids. Then maybe it'll be okay. So we'll see. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for now. I will pick up issue 2, and we'll see where he goes with it. But I don't have high hopes, man. Anyway, check out the Streamy. Check out the Patreon. I'm going to have Subscribestar really soon. I'm going to sign that up. Also, make sure you throw a like up, hit the notification bell. Tell me what you feel about this book. If you read it, what do you think of what I was talking about with the book? And I'll see you guys on the next one.